Hola! Okay, hi. So today's video is going to discuss in many layers of beautiful downloads how unconditional self-love leads to understanding of others, which is very much needed in this time of our lives. And so I'll give you a bit of a backstory as how this beautiful lesson in humility that has helped humble my ego came about. I had the urge to watch one of my old time favorite movies called Hard Candy. Check it out. Ellen Page is in it. And I started to really enjoy the gruesomeness in it. I love the fact that someone was taking vengeance into their own hands. And I also remembered how it empowered me as a child in my teenage years, how the movie had helped me feel a sense of strength when I felt weak and powerless. So check out Hard Candy. But then I also started to realize why I started getting invested into psychology in the very beginning of my lifespan. It was a way of survival, a way to prolong being of not being abused by my mother or someone else. It was a way to battle of the wits. Hard Candy has a lot of psychology in it, and one can learn lots from it. Then I also started to take into consideration, well, if I felt the need psychology to survive, and I'm taking from it the ways as to be steps ahead of someone who's going to abuse and misuse the knowledge that they gained through psychology. What can I learn about myself from this? So I learned that I have to accept that manipulation is out here. In Hard Candy, the protagonist, Ellen Page, even though she is a warrior, she shows signs of being unhealed in certain areas, and she uses the knowledge that she has to use and abuse, if she must, to seek her own justice. Now, when I described to my husband it was predator versus predator, he said, "That's not good, that's toxic." And at the time I said, well, she's not really a predator too much. She's just, leveling out the playing field, playing playing Miss Karma. And then, however, when I started to look at it with a new set of eyes, I learned more and more about how certain things can contribute to one being unstable. I learned that it's we all have a role to play in something. So, as much as I admire Ellen Page's character taking control of the situation to exact vengeance to give someone the karma that they had coming, I also saw how later it would impact her negatively, even if she was a hero for some. On a spiritual level, I mean, it feels empowering to be able to say, without using much physical strength, one convince one to come to their own demise. But in the world that we're living in with spiritual warfare, as heavy as it is, that is what is happening. For some, it's not so much physical force that is being subjected upon them. It's targeting them on a psychological level, emotionally, hitting them where it really hurts them. I used to believe that if someone knew my triggers, I was weak. They could just come after me. However, if someone points out a trigger to me and tries to use that trigger against me, well, I just use it as like, okay, how can I heal? And so I had to accept that my ego, while I was watching this, uses psychology out of fear at times to avoid things. And I also had to accept that psychology is changing at such a rapid rate due to the human biology system. So let's say someone who's clearing out ancestral generational curses, and they're going to, their biology system will completely change. Humanity is supposed to evolve at a rapid rate, quite honestly. And the fact that humanity has paused, stopped in this stage of progression, it has people really close-minded about psychology. Psychology is supposed to evolve too. So if we're still going off old information, because I find myself on Pinterest looking up psychology facts, and then I start to uncover that
You got the fluoride?
fluoride for now. I start to see that I'm picking up new psychology things that aren't in books yet. Psychology is supposed to evolve, just like technology. So those who are healing, let's say someone was being manipulative using old tactics against one, what they would do probably would not work the same on you if you're healing as it would on another who is full of trauma. And there's so many unlimited levels of healing that one can experience. I mean, unlimited levels, of course, that if one is to keep evolving, certain psychological factors will not work on you. So, psychology is constantly evolving if one is able to see it, because humanity is supposed to be evolving at a rapid rate. Humanity is presently very still stuck and stagnant, and that is okay for this particular moment in time. In this moment in time, okay? So, what I learned about myself from watching Hard Candy is that I can be manipulative. And it made me aware that if I'm going to call people out on their bullshit, I need to catch myself in my own. So I have used psychology at a young child to combat abuse. However, I'm no longer in an abusive situations, so I do not need to use psychology for those things. And I trust that my higher power is protecting and watching over all of my family and loved ones that are near and dear to me, part of my soul tribe family. So that is no need for me to exact revenge or things of that nature. And also, it's meant for me to stay focused in my lane, my area, to expand so that I can be able to carve my own path out in this wonderful, beautiful world. Okay? So, while I do enjoy hard candy, it helped me recognize that my ego can stop me from learning and growing because I think, ooh, I know how to get under someone's skin who's trying to get under my skin. In the past, I've gotten triggered by being challenged at an academic level, and so I'd overwork myself to prove to them, look what I can do. And I started using psychology to get under people's skin to bring out the emotional things that they were trying to keep under wraps. And so, because I'm very sensitive and I have done this, and I'm realizing I have not done this as of late, but for me to heal and move forward, I have to be honest with these things about myself. And so, I read a really awesome review about Who is Haley I do not remember the resource or the source, but I would advise you to go check out Who is Haley from Hard Candy. And then I started to have a more broad, open minded perspective, and it made me aware that my opinion is my opinion, and someone else's opinion is their opinion, and on a more deeper level. Such, I could describe a box and in a way that we could all relate to, but we all see different things of that box, the characteristics and things of that nature. So when I read it, it gave me like, she is, it helped me see things from a perspective of a victor instead of a victim. Because at the time when I first watched Hard Candy, I was coming from a victim mentality. And this time, as I was watching Hard Candy, I realized that, you know what, I am victorious, and I do like to see justice enacted. But do I really like to see people who do bad things get bad karma? No. I just like to be aware of it. And me being able to acknowledge this about myself is very eye opening about who I am. It is too much. I there's there we hear about so much ugliness flooded in the media, but I clearly do not want to see someone with who is letting their negative traits and emotions run the show get the karma that I would not want to experience. Nor do I find anything exciting about it, because at the end of the day, I can get that same karma back if I did the same thing, and it would really suck. So I really do, at a humanitarian level, wish the best for all, but I'm also accepting that everyone is responsible for their own actions, okay? I am emotionally disconnected from what someone else experiences, because at this point, I can only be responsible for myself. And that even, that goes with me giving people the freedom to grow and expand or stagnate or pause as they need to. My husband teaches me on a great, beautiful scale to let people learn as they do. Because sometimes I'll say things and I'll see, like, feel his energy, like, hmm, you know, and I'll naturally evolve and move forward, and he'll be like, okay, no, we need to put that back in the bag. So I would say check out Hard Candy and see how the reaction that you have from it. Now, if you, I would, trigger warning and put this out here. Hard Candy does have 3D aspects of pedophilia in it. It also has aspects of um psych psych psychological manipulation, as well as physical abuse in it. So if you are not into that kind of thing, then don't watch it. But watching that made me aware of things that I'm not ashamed of, If you are going to embrace a spiritual journey, you have to be open to accept yourself as you are, beautiful in all your gloriousness. And in this moment, I'm throwing out the need to be psychologically aware of old things. Even though majority of humanity is operating off this old cycle of psychology, I just don't see a need in living from a place of fear. I am grateful to be aware of things, but I also need to evolve, so I'm keeping an open mind. So I have discovered that a way to understand oneself and others is to learn to unconditionally love yourself in the unique way that you're supposed to. That means even when you come up against those who will be manipulative to you, to not embody the same energy that they're doing. Because honestly, getting back manipulative energy when you put it out sucks. And for a while, even if I was just someone, let's say someone was like, yeah, I'm going to try to trigger you. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to trigger you too. And we went back and forth. Others would start with me. I'd start with them. I'd go back and forth with them. And for the moment, my ego would say, yeah, look at you. You're getting under their skin. And our energy would get entangled in such a negative manner that it would be, I'd walk away with their energy. They'd leave with my energy. And the good energy that I could have had, however much I had of it, I believe I had a whole lot of good energy, but I could easily have gotten triggered because I had been neglected. I felt like an orphan so much to the point back in the day that if I did get a knowledge and someone tried to downplay me, I felt I had to defend myself, that this is who I am. And so it was easy to get me off balance. It was easy to take my peace of mind away. And so there we would go with the war of the war of the wits. And then I'd start looking up information so that I'd focus so much on that one person and we'd be energetically connected that I'd be like, the next time I see you, I'm going to get you. And somehow, somehow, when I saw them, the universe made it so that I was not able to have that connection. And I'd feel some kind of remorse and like I didn't get my due justice. And I'd focus so much on those people and how they hurt me. And I'd wish I had said or did something different. And then, the more I got to know myself, I had to get to the root of it. How did this accumulation of actions show up so strongly where I was, not only was I letting others cause me distress and keep me out of my light, but how else was I participating in this unknowingly and knowingly? So I am accepting that psychology is real, but it is also evolving at such a massive rate that if you look up on Pinterest, some of the stuff that you're seeing may still apply a great deal. But let's say in 50 years or so, these same concepts will not apply because humanity will have evolved at such a rapid rate that if anyone is interested in manipulating others, and if they're in a stagnant place and they try to use these tactics against someone who has healed their DNA through self-healing methods, it will not work because the biology of humanity will have completely, greatly changed, okay? So with that in mind, let's evolve into a place of love, not from a place of fear. I do advise those to be aware, of course. Awareness is beautiful. So if someone is using tactics of manipulation towards you using modern day, or I'm not even going to say modern day, I'm going to say old timing psychology against you, just be aware of it. Do not try to engage as into why they're doing it. On such a deep level where you're in turmoil and you're trying to just like reason with them to the point where it's just not going to work out. Just speak your piece with them and keep it moving, okay? I used to go back and forth and ask my husband, why is my family doing this? Why is my family doing that? And yesterday I finally accepted, or people from my past, why their actions are such as they are, I finally accepted that their actions are representation of them wanting to stop me on my path or take what I have and snuff out my light. And I'm gotten to the point where now it's just like, okay, I could try to figure out exactly why you're doing this at a psychological level, but whose time am I wasting if I do that, going off of old information? It's time to evolve and focus on what matters. And the only real thing that truly matters is love and how we show love. Because you can accumulate $1 million and the way you treated someone will be remembered more than the money you have, okay? While others may focus on the material things you have, the emotional impact you left on that person, how you made them feel will matter more. And we're going to discuss emotions in the card reading today. Um, Not only that, we are how love. So unconditional self-love is the beginning of understanding others. Unconditional self-love increases your intuition. So it can give you an understanding of the environment you're in and what is going on around you. So it won't seem as if, oh, this is just random and out of the blue. It'll make sense. And yes, as I said, be aware, but don't get so invested into old time psychology that is still running this world, that is negatively impacting the mental health system. Okay, we can get into that another day. You can get into that yourself to see how, if you have a child who is high energy, they call it ADHD. But however, if you're a parent and you're overworked and you don't have the time or the money at the moment to put your child into a program that best serves them, or for you to be able to delegate in a healthy manner, it's going to seem as if the high energy is a problem, which is ADHD. And we describe medicine, subscribe medicine, all that good stuff. So if you can see how psychology is negatively impacting the mental health system, you'll be able to see how it's time to start leading from a place of love, a place of understanding for oneself, which will help one understand others while keeping a flexible mind, okay? Keeping flexibility there and knowing who you are. So let's open up and let's walk into a place of unconditional self-love, all right? Now, how can one practice self-love, unconditional self-love, in this time where we don't, well, where we're getting signs that everything will work out, but we're being fed so much negativity that it's just really making things quite difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you're a powerful manifester, please do not focus on the negative media messages that are being directed at you. We're supposed to focus on the positive things, saying the affirmations we want to experience, cultivating the emotions we want to experience. Okay? So, while if you're super conscious and aware, it can be easy to feel that stuff is going down the drain. And even though you can probably control a situation with manipulation, do you really want that energy back? No. So I'm committing to living from a place of unconditional self-love so that I can have understanding and overstanding of all that is going on around me. And it's okay if I don't understand something. So, with that beautiful information in mind, I hope that somehow you are on your own journey of discovering, understanding, and overstanding of yourself in a unconditionally loving manner, so you can be able to understand others, so that when you are faced with people trying to get you out of your light in a manipulative manner using old time psychology, you stay in a loving place, even if you feel the emotions of it and it's just like, you know what I mean? So um mm. So let's talk about the practicality of being unconditionally self-loving in a world that is promoting so much fear that it's easy to doubt oneself. And so it's easy to look up information about old world psychology and things like that. How do we do that when we're getting emotionally triggered? I heard breathe for now. There's so many other ways to do this. I encourage you to find ways that fit you and your unique identity, okay? But there's so many beautiful ways to do it. Don't put how to do it in a box. Some people can go out into the woods to scream. Some people write letters and burn them. I mean, it is what it is. Whatever works for you, please go ahead and do it. Um, Make sure it's healthy, doesn't harm you or others, okay? Because let's be honest, the human experience is very beautiful, and it's up and downs, and the downs are really down. The highs are the highs. And so, one part of the human experience is that when you become aware and conscious, you will get triggered from outside entities, okay? Not only entities could be using people next to you that to ignite something in you, to get you off course, off balance, okay? And the more that you are super committed to your journey of however you want to describe your spiritual journey, just know new levels, new devils, okay? So, my husband and I are being challenged from outside negative entities. And as much as it is a challenge for me to maintain my youthful giddiness, I am committed to doing it. And then I thought to myself, someone else is probably going through the same thing. So, this pick a card reading will have, I heard 4 pals, and I'm going to do it in such a unique way that it works. Pick a card reading, topic, we're making it up on the spot. Home instability. And the emotional advice to stay mentally strong. Home instability and the emotional advice to stay mentally strong. Why not? So, all right then. I'm working on trust my intuition more than I did yesterday, a moment ago. And so here are the pals. Pal 1, the herb star anise or anise, whatever you want to dig it, call it. It is what it is. All right. Pal 2 is bay leaf. Okay. Pal 3 is red jasper. Pal 4 is green calcite. So I'll hold these puppies up for you. I'm gonna start with pile 1 shortly. So pile 1 is star nice, and I'm gonna put that in here. So yeah, I put it up here. Pal 1 Star and Ice. It is wonderful in witchcraft. It's wonderful in cooking and teas. Check it out. Thank you for joining us, Pal 1. Alrighty. Ancestors, please guide me to select the energy of the home instability that Pal 1 is experiencing. Knight of Pentacles popped up. And so, oh, all right. Intuitively, I'm reading beginning new ventures, not seeing results, hoping something works out. And the motivation behind it is family stability. Because this Pal 1, has seen that doing things alone is harder. Give me a moment. It's harder to do it alone without the happy relationships that you seek. I mean, it's better to do it alone if you don't have a good support system around you and the support system seems to be dragging you down. But also, you're discovering that what you're looking to build, you want to share it with the right people. So it's like you're beginning new endeavors. You're learning to trust those around you. And I'm told to, it's time to seek out communication to make sure you're on the same path with those around you for what you are looking to build. I'm also getting slow and steady wins the race. It's time to take your time and stop putting unrealistic pressure on yourself that this is the deadline and we have to do it by this time, because the pressure you're probably putting on people around you, if it's you or someone else, is really causing unnecessary discouragement, and it is not going to help with the team. Excuse me, that throat chakra that you are seeking. Also, there's nothing wrong with the vision you have, but to try to force it upon others is not going to be very beneficial for you. It's only going to either draw in the unwanted people who will cause more blockages in what you're looking to manifest, but also it will push away the people that you actually really want to be a part of it. So slow and steady wins the race. Applying unnecessary pressure on yourself is not good. It's going to show up in places and areas of your life that you're going to see, okay, shit, man, I'm really going through it. And it could be something small to you, but over time, this can grow into something big. For example, if you have an ache in your arm, I have to just be like, well, I've been working hard a lot. 5 years down the line, you it might be something, the egg might have spread in other areas, and now you're like, I need to get this fixed, okay? So move slow and steady, and do not put pressure on others, especially the ones you want to be a part of this venture, on them to join you as if I need you. You're mandatory part of this. It doesn't matter if you're um, linked romantically to this person. Let them pursue their own endeavors in their own unique way. That does not mean there will be uh, separation. It just means, okay, I respect that this is what you're passionate about, and you respect what I'm passionate about, and therefore we're a good team. So I feel that this group is putting pressure on others, and therefore you're receiving pressure from others. And yes, you do have the oh yeah, just oh yes, take that out. You do have an idea or an innovative a movement that you want to start for reasons that are beautiful. The way you're going about it is just not right for yourself or others. You're feeling a lot of emotional setback, I'm feeling, and it's causing you to feel unstable, restless. I heard money on my mind, stuff like that. That's understandable. You have the right to want to start these new endeavors, but you have to be mindful exactly why you're doing it. Because at this time, I'm hearing something's going to break down. And if relationships are very important to you, then what exactly is it that you're seeking in these relationships that you're not giving to yourself? And that you feel it's impertinent that you have the teamwork that to make your vision come true. This is why communication is important. Is this vision that you're having going to benefit not only you and those and others? And if you say it's going to benefit all, well, have you communicated to see what this person truly wants at a core level? And just because you feel something will be great and better for all of them, perhaps may not be. So in this time, the home instability I'm sensing, other than financial, is relationship wise. Okay. I'm sensing that you want things to go into a different direction and you're not exactly sure where to start. Um, the stability you're seeking is connected to something that you truly want, and you have to redefine that. So if you feel getting the stability is going to increase the emotional fulfillment you're seeking, and you haven't got to the root of why it is so important for you to have this particular emotional fulfillment, whatever it is, and it's going to make what you're going after on a physical level hazy. I'm hearing chaos, I'm hearing unnecessary conflict, and it's going to push away those that you truly care about. So, while you feel that we need this money for this particular thing, it's time to really rethink, where do your values lie? Yes, this world has painted, we need this money. But what are you sacrificing from yourself at a core level to get this money? And how is it rubbing into the relationships that you are so passionate about? Now, I've pulled up went to astrology.com, and okay, you're being paid. Yeah, no one wants that. You're all by yourself here. Okay. Okay. And if that was a channeled message that some of you have become because you're not seeing the results that you would like in the time manner that you're getting, and it's having people want to be away from you. Because I send someone, if it's not you or if it's someone else, they're trying to relax and you're making things difficult for them due to you wanting something so bad. It's time to release what you want the way you want it and just start doing some inner work. Upright Knight of Pentacles. And we're getting this information from astrology.com. It means if you have some, if not all, the characteristics of the Knight. You need to find out whether these aspects of the Knight of Pentacles are helpful or harmful to you. Are you working very hard? Do you refuse to listen to reason? Are you surrounded by an aura of gloom and doom? These are indications it's time to find balance and make changes. So, the home instability, as we discussed, is not only linked to financial poverty that you feel you're experiencing, if that's what you're manifesting through your reality, then that's what you're going to be experiencing. However, it stems from something that you're trying to be met emotionally, and the way you're going about doing it is causing you more havoc than harmony. So, I guess we'll pull some advice. Ancestors, what advice do you have for Pal 1 regarding the home instability that they are seeking? What tough love do they need to hear right now? Ten of Wands and Eight of Swords. Let whatever it is you are holding on to, if it's fear of not being able to make a payment, or and let's go deeper. I can't make this bill this month. If that's how you think, I can't make this bill this month. I have way too much stuff going on. Ooh, so much stuff is going on. I just can't breathe. I'm knee deep in debt, or help me. I have so much shit going on. And what happens is you've caused this yourself. Eight of Swords, getting yourself stuck in your own head. And basically now it seems like the world is on your shoulders. Let that shit go. Or, hmm, You're going to develop a victim mentality when the people that you really want around you walk away from you. And it's only going to contribute to put out you will get back. So you've been causing your own mental suffering with the belief systems that you've been carrying around for years. It's time to question everything that you have had. If you see other people walking around really light as a feather and they're going through some of the same shit you're going through, that's okay. And if you're wondering how are they like, oh, so chill. And if you're getting feelings of envy, jealousy, if you're wondering, let me copy their system, this is you repeating generational curses that you need to break. It's time for you to go through that process. And if you really feel like you're about to lose everything, it's time that that's an illusion. Unless if you're doing something like malicious to others to have them lose stuff, you're good. Okay? But if you're not, if you're doing the maliciousness, you are going to get exactly what you put back out. But if you're not being malicious and you're feeling feelings of jealousy or envy, it's time for you to get your shit together. It's time for you to start doing the inner work. You know, it's time for you to take a moment to breathe, get out into nature, and I'm even hearing scream at the sky about what it is that's going on. Scream out the stuff that you don't not particularly fond of, belief systems, because what you're going to see is that it's all bullshit and you're causing yourself unnecessary burdens. You are working so hard for something that is not going to have results because you are in your own goddamn way. So, the advice that you're being given is to let that shit go. All right. Thank you, pal. One, two, at Jesus. Welcome, pal, to Basil Leaf. It is an honor to meet thee. Thou. I'm getting some royal energy here. Whatever. Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool beans. Alrighty. So, ancestors, please help me find the energy of the home instability that Pal 2 is experiencing. And we have Three of Wands. I am hearing the home instability. I'm hearing teamwork, but okay. We'll get to getting too much at this point right now. But we're going to do it. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to sit back. I really want to just watch a movie. So I don't know why I said that. What? Teamwork? Something needs some relaxation, but I'm feeling you're not sure how to do it in this present moment. So, home instability, not being able to relax, unequal workload, perhaps. Alrighty, let's see if I'm picking up anything else. The fact that I'm laying down and I was like, I'm gonna sit up. Oh, screw that. I'm laying down. Okay. I need to have a take a be and still get my message out and relax and not have to overdo things. See, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So, I'm at astrology.com. Okay. When the Three of Wands is up from a time at great height, the figure sees all that lies ahead. This card represents vision. With vision, you gain perspective. Don't react in the heat of the moment, but rather step back and reconsider. Dream beyond your current perspective and look at the greater picture. Fearlessly explore new areas. Do not set sights too near. Behave like a true leader and show the way. The Three of Wands also represents. So, alrighty. I like the different messages where I like the different messages all combined. It's pretty cool. Yes, y'all. So I heard, combining. I'm guessing you guys are seeking teamwork in a beautiful venture. um, and maybe you're thinking small right now. You just thinking this is what the house needs in this moment, and and it coming together, and you're like trying to be like, okay, so I want to think bigger and things like that. And maybe you are thinking bigger, and it just seems like the goal is so far off, and you're just like, how do I get there? How do I do it? And I'm tired, dear God, I'm tired. Okay, so home instability. I'm feeling that this beautiful venture that you're starting could have the wrong could not it could have people in it that don't fully know their roles, and so maybe someone's overworking and it's time for you to things that you're doing that may not serve you. I don't know why they came out, whatever. um I'm thinking you guys need to take a nap and get some good rest, because whatever you're doing, it's I love that you're ambitious, but it's also not serving you. I'm getting tired. Oh, okay. So the answer two cards already popped out. So it's time for you guys to take a break and for this in this moment and really just take a nap, because I love that you're dreaming big, but I also want you guys to take it easy on yourselves. Grateful for like the beautiful ventures that you have. You have vision. You're seeing beyond the pandemic. Except I feel like maybe you've been working too hard, or perhaps you just need to make sure the team that you have with you is the right one for you, okay? And if it is the right one, just make more clear the the roles, okay, and hold each other accountable, because this is a time for growth, and leaders are not, you can be a natural born leader, and it takes time to develop who you are as a leader. And also, ooh, you can have an epiphany like, you know what, I feel this would make the system work a little easier if we do this. So for advice, we got justice and the empress in reverse. I am feeling I'm coming when I get there. I'm coming when I get there, when I come. So I'm being told to start with the justice in reverse. So perhaps what truth needs to be revealed? Is it about yourself? Is it about someone else? What truth is stopping you from being fruitful? The Empress is very fruitful. Um, the Empress is abundant. What truth is stopping you from birthing this beautiful vision that you have? I mean, I'm tired. So, whatever it is you're doing, you're overworking yourself like crazy. But also, there's a truth that needs to come out that's preventing you from seeing your true abundance that you're seeking. And it, you know, first, and also, I'm going to say this, do not have a victim mentality. Do not have a victim mentality. And be patient with yourself as you get to discover this truth, okay? You need to rest, get your energy together, because I'm tired. And I wasn't tired in the first pal. So I'm going to pal 3. I hope that wake up call helps some fun folks and others. Amber, red Amber, pal 3, we're coming. Ha ha ha. Hey, pal 3, red Amber, pal. Let me cleanse the old energy. Dear God, I got tired. I'm getting energy. that. So someone's been overworking. So, alrighty. Hey, pal 3. Let's pick up the energy. I'm hearing efficiency. This pal is very efficient, very goal oriented. Ancestors, what energy can help describe the instability that pal 3 is experiencing? King of Wands, we're getting boss energy, efficiency. You guys run a, you're trying to run a type. Okay, so King of Wands. Uh, House needs new leadership. It needs to go into a different direction. And y'all, this is so dry. You get some water. So please stay hydrated, this group. But yes, I'm seeing that the house needs new leadership. And those structures being threatened. And you're not sure exactly how to communicate this without getting some kind of So let's look up King of Wands over here. Astrology.com. So the home instability, trying to go. The house needs to go into a new direction, and you need the right person to do it. And it seems I'm sensing that some people's idea of leadership is no longer serving the full everyone involved. But this individual is very outgoing, knows how to get the crowd moving. But you're seeing that what once was serving you is no longer working. And even though you do like the self assuredness of this individual who is running the ship, it's not serving you anymore. Let's check out might be the King of Wands is a forceful and imposing leader, hardworking and focused in everything he does. This card means it's time for you to lead the way, take risk and make a splash. You can let yourself be inspired by the King of Wands to do exciting, daring, and dramatic things. Utilize the special energy of the King of Wands to do exciting, daring, and dramatic things. Utilize the special energy of the King of Wands. This card also generates spiritual energy. This card may spur you to take the kinds of actions the king might take, such as take risks, lead the way, attract attention one way or another. Even creative reading it. My throat chakra felt like blocked, as if I want to say something, but I'm afraid of what will happen. And I get that the fear that if I say something, it really might cause good. Whew. Thank it might cause disruption in the house. And then it's like it's better for me to just get my own to not, until I'd rather just want to get my own. But right now I'm not able to in this moment due to something. It could be I'm taking care of someone who's sick, or my finances are low, or I don't know where to go. And it's like there's this fear of if I step on the toes of this person who's leading us and has been doing it, it's like power. It's like power does change, yet it comes with the struggle sometimes, and you're afraid of the struggle. So the home instability is a power struggle in the house. You're afraid of the backlash that possibly occur with you speaking your voice, but you're going to continue to feel trapped if you don't find your own unique way to express yourself. So if that means developing spiritual practices that you feel will best benefit you, go for it. Even if that still means you get some backlash from the individual who's like, well, we have a vision here, let's stick with it. And what are you doing? And if you're like, well, I'm not doing anything that's going to just hurt the family. We get that, but we're supposed to be together watching TV, and you're over here doing this and that. So we really would like it if you came in here, but I don't want to do that right now. But I know that the pandemic has changed a lot for everyone, but let's try to keep some things the same with our family. And it's okay for you to say, well, it's time for things to change because it's not serving us to keep doing this anymore. Let's just be honest. With change in a world of people who are afraid, you're going to get backlash. All the stuff that you're afraid of happening, if and when you speak up for yourself, write it down on a paper, read it out loud in front of the mirror. It's less scary when you actually do that, which is quite interesting, right? And then you just kind of go with it. And you have to accept that miserable. There are people who resist change are naturally going to be miserable because their soul's not evolving. And you have to be okay with things crumbling. It's time to rebuild. Don't try to build a house out of bricks that have burnt bricks. Just I'm start a brand new damn house. And honestly, you taking the chance and speaking your truth will set you free versus keeping you in this cage. No, okay, I'm in charge. Yes, I'm here. hear me out. I'm the all right person. It just means, hey, maybe we just need to be able to breathe some more. Less stress, less unnecessary disciplinary action or structure that is way too rigid. Um, it's time for us to relax because everything's already tight. I feel like I'm in a box now as it is. Can we just relax? And, you know, doesn't make the person who's in charge right now and a person that's not, I throat chakra, and not a good leader, but at the same time, that is not serving anyone for a while. And if you are the only one who is able to possibly speak this truth out loud, then be prepared to face consequences that you may not like, but know that you'll be freer because you spoke your truth. And those who choose to stay in captivity of being in this system where it's just like, well, we've done it this way, and pop and dad have pops, dad, he's carried us this long the way. We're financially stable and set for the next 6 months. Why are you making a big deal out of nothing? I'm not making a big deal out of nothing. I'm validating what's important to me. And it's oh God, y'all can't speak. And what's important to me is that I'm seeing change is needed because emotionally, I'm not in a good place. No one really is in a good place, and we have the bills called up. Well, that's just part of life sometimes. No, it doesn't have to be. We can have the bills all paid and still have inner emotional peace and resiliency. And something tells me you guys are on a spiritual awakening right now, being misunderstood. So find ways to express your spiritual self, and I'm hearing go at your own pace, okay? Um, hey ancestors, what advice do you have for Pal 3? Mm. I'm hearing ask why your throat chakra is blocked. Maybe that's a good place to start. Page of Swords. Okay. I'm going to see what the advice is. I'm not exactly too quite familiar with the Page of Swords. And just go to astrology.com. But I'm hearing things are not always as they seem. When the Page of Swords is upright in a tarot reading, it means there's an opportunity for growth, albeit disguised as a problem, perhaps a situation that involves mental activities of different kinds. The Page of Swords is just a message that brings challenges that you may not relish. By drawing the Page of Swords card, you're asked to accept the difficult circumstances and situations thrown at you. These need to be taken as trials and tribulations, put in your way to test your mettle. Accepting and prevailing over these challenges will make you stronger and more resilient. Your interactions could involve truthfulness, ethical behavior in matters of the mind. Remember, in the face of challenges, you are not weak, you're strong. You need to use the tools of a suit, honesty, reasoning, integrity, and fortitude. So you've probably already been causing, noticing you're not causing, noticing you're getting attention anyway from just the way your energy is changing because you're having a spiritual awakening. And it may not be looked upon in such, it may not be really be supported as you are seeking it to be. And you're getting pushback from this individual. So it's time to ask, why is your throat chakra closed? And there's so many other things that you need to do specifically for yourself. Things are going to get a little bit tough, but spiritual awakenings are not sweet like like eating. It's not like eating a piece of cake and it's all sweet all the way. I mean, if I don't know, I'm thinking about cake and eating right now. Maybe you're hungry, but to make a cake, you have to have ingredients depending on how you want to make the cake. If you want to make it according to some fad, you want to do it by the box, you want to make it from scratch. Or certain things you got to do to make that cake. You know what I mean? And if there's something saying wait 30 minutes, set the stove for 275 degrees and check it and gently poke a hole in it with a toothpick. You know, before you can get to even eat a slice of this cake, there's some things that have to be done just to get this cake. So some work is being required of you. I guess I'd say make a cake that you be proud of. And that means it doesn't matter how long it takes to make that cake. But this spiritual awakening you're experiencing, um, and you're starting to notice the home instability, perhaps your leadership skills were already noticed beforehand, and maybe you're not aware that you're a leader, and others are, and they're seeing that if the dynamic of things in the house change, then you know with the dynamics of things changing could mean something much bigger for that person than you're aware of. It could mean losing my family idea of family. It could also mean you're I found out that people were afraid of me walking into my full power. They did everything they could to stop me. And so, all right, son. Yeah. So it's different for everybody. But spiritual awakenings and power struggles with family members is difficult. and it's going to be a challenge, but you are strong enough to do it. So, thank you for letting me read your pal. You're a very strong pal. Pal 3. No, yeah, on this card. Ugh. Green something. Green calcite. What? Green calcite. Welcome. Okay, okay, okay. All right. I don't know what that energy is that you guys got, but I know I'm getting hungry and the baby and I are gonna eat soon. So powerful green calcite. Ancestors, please help me pinpoint what is the home instability that green calcite is experiencing. We have the death card. You guys are experiencing so many changes, it's a bit overwhelming. It's like endings. However, endings financially, you are experiencing changes in the form of endings. It feels like loss, it feels like failure, but in reality, it's really supposed to help you learn and grow. And I know that the fear of what the news says, well, we have to do it this way. You want to get some help, it's getting worse. You want our help, do it this way, we'll help you. But also, if you're consuming way too much negativity, either some music you're listening to, social media apps, snooze, stop it because it's only going to make this transformation seem like just appear worse. When this transformation, you're losing stuff to gain something. So I'm hearing loss. A lot of loss is happening. The home instability. The home instability isn't the loss, it's more so not being able to deal with endings and a way something like that needed to go. It's more so looking at it as I needed this. Where am I going to get my next resource from? Because I did not know how I would make it if I did not have such and such. And now you're being asked to trust something higher than yourself. And that is scary as shit, okay? That's understandable. Okay. hmm Okay. So you guys are experiencing a lot of changes, and the home instability is not knowing exactly how to navigate these changes in a way that best serves you. You could be causing havoc to others subconsciously, consciously, because the changes are so abrupt, and it's just like I did not ask for this right now. This could have happened another time before, but right now, these changes are meant to happen to help you to grow. And if you choose to not grow, you're going to become stagnant. So, really, the home instability is you being resistful to change. That is saying, hey, we need to knock some shit down, get rid of some stuff because what this wasn't serving you. And you're in this place where I need this thing to keep going. No, you don't. So, anywho, you're resisting change. And the more you resist, it's going to make it harder. You may say, well, how can I make it easier? Change is not easy all the time. Dear God, who says change is easy? But if you can find ways to relax, and I heard just to picture someone smoking weed, that's fine. But combine some spiritual practices with that smoking weed if you're smoking weeding. So, start getting to the root of who you are. Because if you're defining yourself by I have a job and the bills are paid, well, what happens when you don't have a job when the bills are not paid? You're gonna feel like crap, man. Your worth does not come from societal standards of stability, okay? Or societal standards of, well, I have this and I have that, so I'm good to go. It's just time for you to like be like, you know what? I hate this. I'm doing everything I can to keep this, and it's obviously not working. I've been at this job for 14 goddamn years, and they just let me go. And you're just like, what is wrong with me? Nothing's wrong. Um, maybe I don't believe anything is truly wrong with you. We all are just we all have, just like the weather, we have our ups and downs. We're full of seasons. So I'm going back and forth about this change. You guys are going back and forth about the change. You be learn here is to stop doing that because it's really draining your energy, and I don't even have time to be doing that. Guys, look up ways to move forward or you're going to. What advice do you have for group 4, green calcite? 7 of Pentacles. It's time to build something new. That's what I'm intuitively picking up. It's time to just build something new, work towards a new goal, but also change the way you're working towards this goal. And we don't mean physical labor. It could be you emotionally dealing with things differently, mentally dealing with things differently, spiritually dealing with things differently, all of this stuff makes a huge difference in the way you go about and do things. You know, as a little kid, when I grew, I was in a family that was telling me, well, you gotta work, work. That's how things are gonna get done. And and it was just like they were getting sick and they were unhappy and the relationships were failing and they're working so goddamn hard they weren't able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. They were storing it up like acorns and shit. um just basically they were doing way too much. They needed to catch their breath and realize what they had. And if someone who seemed to have peace of mind came around them, it became a competitive type thing where I want you to see what I have, and look at my family, we're doing so well. But anyone who was conscious could see you're miserable, and they treated them so kind. And my family showed signs of being really unhappy. It's like they were working towards something that wasn't serving them. So it's trying to change directions. Um, and so I'll read what astrology.com says about the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles in tarot stands for assessment, reward, and change of direction. The 7 of Pentacles, meaning in a tarot reading, is a timeout. This isn't a card of finality. This is an in-between card that means you have to pause and check your strategy. The image on the card is a person who has worked hard and then pause to take some time to admire their work. When the 7 of Pentacles is upright in the tarot reading, it means it is time to catch your breath after a lot of activity. It's time to take some time to assess It's time to assess your work and what you get from that work. Maybe you've been so busy that you haven't taken the time to reflect on what you've accomplished. This is a time to take stock of your situation and make sure you're getting the results you want. And this probably is not, because you guys are resistant to change. And if the whole goddamn thing needs to change, change it. You know, that means crying, working on accepting